resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian, how are you, buckaroo?
Fantastic, man. Hey, look, I've been getting into all kind of crazy stuff all weekend long. I wanted to mention real quick, on Friday, I went and saw they had a fundraiser for Sister Tempest, which was Joe Badon. We had him on the other week.
Right.
And he aired his The God Inside Your Ear. Over at the Brew Carré Brewing Company.
Brew Carré. Yeah. I see what they did there.
Yeah, so we had a good time hanging out with Joe. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I got a Blu-ray. And then last night, our friends from Big Easy Con sponsored BSI Comics Superhero Trivia Night over at the 504 Craft Beer Reserve. And, dude, that was super cool, man.
Nice.
They had all kind of prizes to give away and free comic books. And
you're speaking my language, man.
Yes.
We're only, 2 short weeks away from Free Comic Book Day?
May 4th, yeah, absolutely. And real quick, while we're here, next week we will be at St. Tammany Collectors Con on the North Shore.
We just heard that commercial.
Yes.
All right, well, let's lay out the show real quick. As always, we'll open up with top nerd news. And being an Easter special, we're changing things up, Brian. We have a very special guest in studio.
Yes, we have Miss Aimee Lohmeyer from the New Orleans Public Library talking about all kind of geek initiatives that are coming up in our community. And then we're going to have Skungy in his pick of the week.
Yes, we will.
Then we're closing out with This Week in Geek History.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th. For more information, go to iglfoundation.com. And now, your top nerd news stories. Somebody changed the top nerd news intro.
I know.
What? Oh, is that one of our new sponsors, Brian?
Yes, the Independent Gaming League is having their annual NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th, and that's coming up, and we are all about it.
Yeah, NOLA Motorsports over there on the wank, brah.
Yes.
All right, what's topping us off tonight, Brian?
All right, well, we're just, 4 short days away from Avengers Endgame.
Oh, yes.
And you know what? We may not have seen anything from this movie because there's been plenty of trailers out.
Right.
All of them may be fake.
No.
Yes.
Don't you lie to me.
The Russo brothers have used fake footage before. We know this. And on top of it, basically, it was Anthony Russo said, maybe it's all fake. maybe there's not a real frame in that whole trailer.
My God.
Yes, but now here's some supporting evidence.
Okay.
All right. So earlier this week, something dropped. One of our friends of the show reached out and said, "Hey, in somewhere in the Middle East, 20 minutes of footage leaked."
I heard about that. My son was asking me about that. I'm like, take that with a giant grain of salt.
Well, he's like, "I didn't watch it. Do you want the link?" And I said, "Yes, give me the link." And I watched it. Okay, now I'm not going to give any spoilers.
Okay.
All right. But things that I saw in that 20-minute clip are different from what was been presented in the trailer from similar scenes. All right. So if that makes any sense without giving anything away.
Right. Well, I mean, I think we already kind of talked about it like last week about just Tony Stark and Captain America, saying,
"Do you trust me?
Do you trust me?" It's like, yes.
Right.
But no.
Right. We may
maybe.
not. Right. Exactly. That scene may not even appear. So
I saw a new trailer drop. I don't know if it was. I saw it today, but it was War Machine drops down by Ant-Man. He's like, "Hello, regular sized man." It tickled me. I don't know why.
That's cool. So 4 days.
I'm going Thursday, 5:00, baby, and I get a commemorative coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that from you.
No, you're not. You can steal DJs.
Oh, geez.
Would you steal from a child, Brian?
Yes, I would in this instance.
for this commemorative coin, you bet your sweet ass I would.
Well, hey, while we're talking about Disney, since they own the planet, why don't we talk about So there's rumblings that Lucasfilm has confirmed the Knights of the Old Republic is in development.
Look, I believe it. Honestly, I believe everything right about now because just looking at all the Disney Plus streaming stuff, I mean, they are going to make this is going to be just so content filled.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the the Mandalorian, and they're going to have all these other things, these ancillary characters. I mean, they're even doing some of the what is it? A Black Widow or no? They're doing some of the the side characters that
Loki,
people,
Falcon,
right?
Winter Soldier,
characters that people really don't care about, but most people want to hump Tom Hiddleston's legs, so give him a series.
All right, well, it's interesting. Kathleen Kennedy was quoted as that they talk about Knights of the Old Republic all the time, and that they're developing something to look at, but they have no idea where things are going to fall.
Right
now. It was reported from Bob Iger about a week ago that he had an interview with Bloomberg and that they haven't announced any plans for the movies past episode 9, right? So that's going to be this December. We're going to get that. And then it seems like he says we will take a pause sometime and reset. So there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus for Star Wars, at least in the movie.
All right, so the big screen stuff.
Yes.
Now, look, this is something, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I really love this friggin' idea. They are going to serialize The Mandalorian. So it's not going to be that dump of stuff like honestly, I think Netflix does themselves a disservice sometimes by putting all the stuff out and making people binge or allowing people to binge, because then somebody writes a whole series on it. Like that they'll write a dissertation on the entirety of the season, as opposed to putting it out there in 1 week at a time and giving people the ability to catch up or avoid social media till they watch it. Like, I don't know anything about what's going on with all the old Luke Cages and all that stuff, because I never was able to catch up or binge the stuff. And I like The Mandalorian coming out once a week, because then people can talk about it, do the water cooler talk. It's not like, oh, sorry, I've only watched episodes 1 through 5. Don't talk to me yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're asking for 10 hours of my life. I barely got 1 hour a day that I can devote to watching TV. So I like that. Like with Game of Thrones tonight, I can watch that and we can all commiserate on it for a week and then move on. And I don't like the big data dumps.
Well, just for you, and since we're kind of on this topic, my arm's been twisted a little bit, and I am catching up on Game of Thrones.
What?
Yes.
Oh my! So you're a Game of Thrones guy now?
Okay,
kinda, sorta.
I've watched season 1 a while ago.
Right.
I read some of the books.
Right.
But I was really put out by Martin, like his writing style. But by the time I got halfway through books 2, I was done.
Well, look, you might not have known this because you haven't seen, what seasons 3 and 4. But Elmo showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't ignore me forever. I only want what's best for Westeros.
And I only want for you to not get what you want.
See? This is why you don't have any friends.
Excuse Elmo.
Who are you?
Oh, Elmo is Elmo of Sesame Street. Elmo thinks that you two need to respect each other. When Elmo has a problem with his friends like Abby or Cookie Monster, Elmo doesn't get upset. Elmo listens and learns from what they have to say.
If we stop fighting and work together, we can be stronger. I'm willing to learn and listen if you are.
Will Miss Cersei try to listen and understand what Mr. Tyrion is saying?
I can try.
Oh, yay! Trying is a great way to start.
A toast to our new red friend.
Oh, yummy! Elmo loves toast! Yay!
Elmo doesn't. Elmo listens, but Elmo gets even. Elmo will stab out your eyes.
So do you think that the denizens of Westeros will be able to embrace respect and come to the table?
That's a hard pass. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. That is not happening. Oh my God! Like when I saw that, I just couldn't help but laugh. I mean, everybody's just like, "Really?" But
you know what I want to know is how many takes it took him to finish that.
Oh my God! I don't know. That's what cracks me up, man. Because then you've got HBO has Sesame Street now,
right?
And so that's when I first saw it, I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?" You've got incest and murder, and you're putting Elmo on there. I'm just like, man, that's some balls over there at HBO.
But it's interesting because I saw some people complaining about it, like why would you kind of put Sesame Street in with Game of Thrones? But the thing is that the kids don't get it.
No, right.
And you need to put stuff in there for the adults to kind of watch with the kids and throw them a bone.
Look,
right?
I bet you there's a whole boatload of people out there that had no idea where Sesame Street was. I mean, look, I guarantee you. I mean, I haven't. I mean, I got one young kid. I mean, so I knew it was there simply because like at the ass crack of dawn is when they're showing friggin' Sesame Street.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. But it's I don't know what they were thinking, but it was good. It was funny.
They're going to respect each other.
One other thing I wanted to mention about Disney, I thought this was interesting, is that I didn't realize this was in production, or at least I don't remember us reporting on it, but that they shut down Fox's Mouse Guard production 2 weeks before it was supposed to start shooting.
We did not talk about that.
So for our listeners, Mouse Guard is essentially described as Games of Thrones for mice. And it's a great book series. I've read not all of it, but some of it.
It predates Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, role-playing game for it, too, huh?
Yeah. But they believe that Disney's just not interested in it because it's very similar to some of the content that they already have. It's got a $170 million production price tag on it. They think it's a little too rich for their blood. Not that they're not making billions of dollars off the MCU, but...
you know what they're going to do? They're going to reboot Secret of NIMH and make it live action. So they're going to have everybody dress up as little mice. And, all right, no. They might. Who knows? They smoke a lot of crack over there at Disney.
They do. Now, this came up, and, dude, I'm very, very intrigued about this.
Ooh, tell me more. So,
MGM is going to be making a movie about history's only African samurai.
I know. I saw that. As soon as I saw that, I had to tag Kimberly Richardson.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be called Yasuke, and it's based on the true life story of history's only African samurai.
He was a Portuguese from Mozambique.
From
Portuguese Mozambique.
Yes. Yeah. And he was brought to Japanese soil from Jesuit missionaries. And a ruthless warlord basically finds him and trains him to become a samurai.
Right.
I think this sounds awesome, and I'm super excited.
And the funny part is, I don't know how I didn't know this, because when I did all the research for my short stories, my Zulu stuff, and like that's right up there.
Yeah.
And they were shipping weapons from Mozambique down to the Zulus. It's just that they didn't know how to shoot said weapons.
Yeah.
But if they could have, they would have kicked some more British ass. Just FYI.
All right. So two more things before we cut to a break. First off, Assassin's Creed Unity got reverse review bombed based on their support of Notre Dame, which I think is awesome. Ubisoft donated 500,000 euros to the reconstruction of Notre Dame, and then they released Unity for free on PC, which that lasts till Thursday, April 25th.
Yeah, because I think it was the woman who did all the research for it and just to get all the mapping and architecture right, took up 2 years of her life, and so she put all that out there, and so made that available so the construction workers and the people that are going to rebuild it can do that. And as an interesting aside, I put it on Facebook. You might remember this. Remember when the Cabildo caught on fire? I mean, people were losing their minds thinking that St. Louis Cathedral could catch on fire, and it ended up destroying the third story of the Cabildo and the thing up on top. And we rebuilt, and it was just interesting because, a lot of people were just giant a-holes, and we're just talking smack about Notre Dame, burning down. And so I was just like, look, imagine that as a New Orleanian, losing the St. Louis Cathedral, and then tack on another 7 centuries worth of history.
Yeah.
And then you might have an idea of what they're going through.
Right.
So,
no, I'm glad things are it's terrible that it happened, but things are moving in a positive direction.
All right, we got a break, bud.
All right. Yeah. All right. When we get back, we will have our in-studio guest, Miss Aimee Lohmeyer from the New Orleans Public Library. Stay tuned, guys. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports at Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out iglfoundation.com for more info.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Come out to the St. Tammany Collectors Con April 27th at the Clarion in Covington. Toys, comic books, artists, games, and more. Meet special guest John Anderson from the MCU, Star Wars author Claudia Gray, and see over 13,000 square feet of toys and comics. All-day entertainment for only $5 at the St. Tammany Collectors Con April 27th at the Clarion in Covington. Find out more information at facebook.com/St. Tammany Collectors Con. Join us. You'll be glad you did.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
Hello, this is Chris Walken. If you've got a hankering for more cowbell, you can get it on The Week in Geek. Come on.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian Held. It is guest time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Elmo says introduce our guest.
I am, and one of the things that you founded this show on is, giving the community a voice, and we have brought a very special guest for the community here, Miss Aimee Lohmeyer, and she's the public outreach librarian for the New Orleans Public Library. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So, as a geek, I kind of grew up in a library, right? I mean, that's kind of where we get started, and it's a great place to get so many kind of resources. And we were talking about, because honestly, I haven't been to a library in a while, right? I'm,
dirty heathen.
Well, I mean,
What's wrong with you?
Well, because we have the internet, right? And it's full of cats and stuff.
That's
and,
where I go right at the library because people can leave me alone. It's nice and quiet.
Well,
people don't bug you.
That's true. That's true. But before the show, we were talking about some of the great resources that the library has that I didn't realize about. And why don't you tell me about some of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would love to.
Okay. So you mentioned that there were graphic novels, right? I mean, you have a whole selection?
Yeah, all of our locations have an extensive graphic novel collection. And it's something that we've been collecting for several years now and building up the library with classic titles. We get brand new titles as soon as they're out. Just everything that people could want. Even things that people don't usually think the library would collect. Like we have full sets, 3 of them, I believe, at different locations of Transmetropolitan.
Wow.
And, Electra.
Okay.
And
what about Preacher? Do you have that?
Yeah, of course. Of course, Preacher.
Yeah, they got a lot, dude.
Wow. And now we're not talking about solely American graphic novels, too. Do you have manga?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, I feel like our manga might actually circulate more than our graphic novels.
Really?
They're super popular with both adults and teens, and middle school age.
Yeah.
We have a lot of also like the children's comics and things like that are coming out. I love the media. I always have. I was a comic book kid more than gaming.
Okay.
So when I started going to the library before I worked there here, I was flabbergasted by the amount of titles that were available to check out now.
Yeah.
That usually you would have to pay for, and that when you're a teenager, you can't really afford all that.
That's the best part. Imagine if we were kids and we had to schlep over to the comic book shop and you got finite amount of cash unless you get out there and cut some grass.
I cut 4 yards a week in the summer. I made $30 a week
for that folder.
Yeah, like I was 10 years old, just pushing that lawnmower so I could go get my folder, of comics.
But the library's got it now.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you mentioned the internet, so that's something that. I know a lot of people pay for services for ebooks and audiobooks or buy them through Amazon and things like that. The library, we provide all of that as well for free. Ebooks, audiobooks. We do streaming video now as well through 2 different services.
Oh, all right, that's new.
Yeah, we have Hoopla and Canopy. And Canopy is really great because it has things like the whole Criterion collection and a lot of older films or foreign films. If you want to see the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari again and things like that, a lot of that's on Canopy. And both of those services also stream through your television as well. So it doesn't even have to be on a tablet or a device.
Okay.
Apple TV, Roku boxes, like all that kind of stuff as well.
So, of course, that begs the question, like, what's the delay when something gets released, to it being available on these services, right? Like, is it possible for me to give up my Netflix subscription because I'm going to be able to get this content from the library?
Not as much, sadly. And that a lot of the big things, we would get eventually. And of course we get the DVD, like the day the DVD can go out to the public, we will have it for people to check out. But on the streaming services, there's usually a delay. You know how like Netflix?
Yeah.
You can get something on a DVD, but Netflix has to wait a month or whatever to carry it.
Right.
It's the same sort of thing for libraries and the streaming services as well.
So simply just go to your local library, get a library card, and you will have access to all of this.
Yeah, definitely. We're not just books and story time anymore. That's for sure. And of course, library cards are free.
Yeah.
We have 15 libraries in the New Orleans area, Orleans Parish. But chances are, I know your show is national and international.
Yeah.
So chances are that libraries wherever you are, if you're not in New Orleans, will have all these things too, or at least some version of it, or you can ask for them.
Now, what kind of like outreach stuff do y'all do with the community? Because I know y'all have a lot of stuff at the libraries, but also out and about. Tell me about that.
Well, we try to go out to just about everything we can. We've gone out and tabled at trivia nights, of course, neighborhood festivals. We love to do, book giveaways or craft programs and things like that. That's mainly what I coordinate. So, church health fairs, we do that a lot. Anything with the mayor's office. We work a lot with Nordsea, who also does a lot of great stuff here too. Actually, that's one of the things I'm coordinating right now.
He's the man.
If you have your kid in a Nordsea summer camp, they'll probably be seeing me with books this summer. So
nice.
Well, speaking of special events like this, you've got one coming up, Geek Fest and Free Comic Book Day, right on May 4th.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
It's the 3rd year that we've done Geek Fest now, and usually have it in the spring. But of course, when we saw that it was May the 4th and Free Comic Book Day were, of course, on the same day. We couldn't help but time Geek Fest for the same day. And it's sort of a mini con at the main library. It's going to be from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. and, of course, May 4th.
Yeah.
And
Loyola?
we'll have
Loyola?
just right over there. Mm-hmm. And have guest authors workshops. This year they're doing a cosplay fashion show.
Oh, wow.
Which is being judged by professional cosplayers Remy Domino and I Need Sugar.
Oh, yeah. Those are friends of ours.
They're so great. Yeah, we're so excited to have them. And, of course, they'll be a fan favorite.
Right.
To Claudia Gray is one of our authors again.
Friend of the
her
show.
so much.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Evidently Defy the Fates, the third in the Constellation series, is coming out, and she's going to talk about it.
Oh, man, I got to get to her next week.
Apparently.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Come on, Brian.
Okay.
And then also we're really excited to have the award-winning author Maurice Carlos Ruffins.
Okay.
To his best-selling debut, We Cast a Shadow, is amazing.
Okay.
I can personally vouch for that, but also he has blurbs from some great other people, like Roxane Gay called it chilling, unforgettable cautionary tale we should all heed.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to hear that guy talk about his book, right?
Right. So basically, go to your local comic shop, get your free comic books, and then head straight over to Geek Fest at the New Orleans Public Library, the main branch, right?
Yes, and we'll have more comics, too. We work with Crescent City Comics.
Okay.
So all the library branches will also have free comic books that day as well. But if you come to the main library, you'll be at Geek Fest as well.
Cool. Awesome. Did you have a...
Well, no, I was just saying, how can people support the local library, and how can we get more information? Give us the websites real quick, because we only got about a minute left.
It's NOLAlibrary.org.
Okay.
And the best way to support your local library is to use the public library. If you want to give us money, there's the Friends of the Public Library, our nonprofit arm.
Yeah.
But, just use your public library.
No matter where you are.
Yeah, definitely. Public libraries have all sorts of things now, like I said earlier. So that's the best way to support.
Well, Aimee, thank you so much for taking the time to come in with us.
Oh, thank you so much. This was really great.
Good deal. All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports at Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out iglfoundation.com for more info.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to The Week in Geek.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, it is your favoriteest part of the show.
Yay!
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
You might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Not a whole lot. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Come on, man, get it right.
Happy Easter. I'm sorry. I'm still a little dazed from the adult Easter egg hunt last night.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I want to do that at some point. So, like, they hid eggs all across this, like, the city park, the festival, whatever the hell they call it.
No, it was just in Storyville.
Oh, okay.
In Storyville, they put...
You mean Storyland? Storyville's where the hookers are.
Yeah. Storyland. They put a bunch of eggs in Storyland where, you know, they had, like, candy and some of them actually had, like, tickets for, like, hey, you get a ticket for a celebration in Oaks, or, hey, there's a bottle of wine, or a bottle of champagne, or a bottle of Tito's vodka.
Jeez, man.
All it was, and there was open beer all night long, so people were drinking, and by the time they dropped the rope, it was like a mosh pit.
little old blue-haired ladies knocking you down.
And did I miss it? The Jello shots and the eggs, right?
Yeah, it was. There were Jello shots. The Jello shots weren't in the eggs. They actually gave you Jello shots right as you walk into the joint. They're like, have a shot.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, that's just like a recipe for disaster. All right, Skungy, what are we talking about tonight, bud?
We're talking about World War Z, the game.
Must we?
Based off of the movie, which was based off of the book.
No, it was not. You were wrong right out the gate.
So, I know I'm wrong, but I'm just going by what the description of the game is supposed to be.
Lies. What, Brian?
So is that like multiple copies getting degraded over time? Like, you know, right?
Yeah, it's like the copy of a copy of a copy.
Right.
Who stole the cereal? Burglars.
All right. So what's going on with this game?
All right. So it is a third-person shooter that's very much like Left 4 Dead. It's a Left 4 Dead style game, which everybody likes Left 4 Dead. I really don't know anybody who doesn't like that game. It's such a great
stop
game.
Screwing with people and stop screwing with the listeners right now because you're getting off topic. Because it's not really, so you're lying to the audience.
It is a clone of it. It's a style type game where you have a bunch of classes and you can do co-op missions, and you are going to fight hordes and hordes and hordes of zombies. Now, they're going to be the fast zombies like they were in the movie.
Mm-hmm, but not the book, the source material.
Not the book. I said the movie.
I know.
But it is cool because you will see like that there are like hundreds of zombies on screen at once. And they will make, like they did in the movie, that tower of zombies. They will make that in the game.
Like a pyramid of hate?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but this game's actually getting a lot of good buzz. I mean, it's been selling out at all retailers.
Jesus.
And a lot of people, because people have been, craving for a co-op shooter like this. Now, like I said, it's got a co-op campaign where you go around different cities in the world, and each city has different characters that you're able to play with their own dialogue trees and stories and whatnot. But you can play different classes. There's like a gunslinger for your more shooter-heavy.
Okay.
Hellraiser for explosives, medic. There's a slasher for melee, which that guy you can use a chainsaw and just like cut through hordes of zombies. And then there's like an exterminator, which is for crowd control.
Is that boom stuff?
What was that?
Things that go boom?
Things that go boom. Well, that's a Hellraiser. This is more for like doing traps and whatnot. Like you can set up traps where if they're doing that tower, when they get to the top of that tower, an explosion goes off, like a trap explosion.
All right.
So, that's pretty cool. But, you also can level up each of those classes where you get different perks for, more ammunition, more health, and whatnot. And then the more you use guns, the more kind of guns you unlock in that type. So it does have a progression system to it as well. It's not just jump in and... just hoard them down.
Yeah, and it's not open world, right? It's linear based.
Yeah, it's linear. It's like you try to get to the end of the level. Be it like you're trying to help a survivor get to the end of the level, or you've got to restore power somewhere. Just different little campaign missions that you're going to go through. But this is a game that you're going to play a couple of times over, kind of like with Left 4 Dead, where some people just didn't like Left 4 Dead because of that one problem where you would go back and just replay these things over and over again, and this is going to be the same way.
Okay. I don't know. I liked it, but whatever. That's fine.
Well, like I said, some people didn't like it because they thought it was more of a story. Once you beat the story, that's it, not going back and constantly trying to do better and whatnot.
Yeah, it gets kind of monotonous. Like there's plenty of games that once I play through the story, I don't ever go back to it.
Yeah. The thing with Left 4 Dead was just that it did sort of change, but I mean, yeah, it was the same thing. You never got any new storylines. You never found any secret boards or went off the beaten path, you know. So and that's the thing with World War Z, though, right? There's no open world stuff. It's just point A to point B, right?
Point A, point B, very, very
special
similar
undead. Do they got special? They got special undead.
Well, yes, they do. They have a couple of different zombie types that you're going to be, depending on the level that you're on, that will be part of it. You also have a competitive multiplayer, so it's not only just co-op. They have a competitive part to it,
okay.
And you can play it by yourself with AI teammates, and they're not that dumb, which is good to hear when you play a game like this, because most of the time you get an AI that is like, "Hey, stupid, stop shooting a wall."
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Left 4 Dead. They'd always come heal you, no matter what. No human being in their right mind would stop what they were doing to come heal you. But the AI would.
Well, Skungy, I know you got some other stuff to cover. What's the price and platforms on World War Z?
So it's going to be on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and it's only $39.99.
That's not bad.
So it's not like, you know, you're dumping a whole lot of dough on it. So
all right, $40 for a retread of Left 4 Dead 4. Or Left 4
basically
Dead.
to hold you over until either Back 4 Blood or the shots that were supposed to be Left 4 Dead 3.
Well, you look, we were talking about that before you came on. They had a bunch of things drop last night. It was like some sort of data dump, and they had in the files it said infected, and then it had like 29 screenshots of kind of like this Middle Eastern theme or like Turkey or something like that, and then they had a bunch of new characters. And so this is 3 years old, though, but it just came to light, so people kind of lost their minds last night, myself included.
Yeah, but I mean, do you know if it's like something that they are, because we know that they can't count to 3.
No, right. I think it's just something that they came across and just kind of, it was, stumbled upon.
We'll just have to wait for Back 4 Blood.
Yes, that's what I'm waiting on. All right, what else you got, man?
So the other thing I wanted to, there's some information leaked out about the PS5 this week.
Okay.
So the PS5, it's been confirmed, will come out next year, along with the new Xbox system, but we don't know much about that. But apparently the PS5 is supposed to be 19 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Wow.
And it's going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's huge.
Come again?
So it's 19 times more powerful than, I guess, the current iteration of the game, and it's backward compatible with all their existing games, so you can play.
And it will also be physical media.
Yeah,
it's not going straight to digital, which is a lot of people are happy about. It's like it's a 50-50. You know, some people are like,
can I use the old PlayStation discs that are black on the bottom, like from PlayStation 1?
That's still up in the air. But there's rumors that it might just very well be backwards compatible with every PlayStation system before.
So does that mean
I just made a mess of my pants? Oh my god! Tag. Oh my god! Wait, what was the price tag? What?
It's supposed. The rumor is it's going to launch at $500.
That's not too bad. Well, I mean, does this mean that we might get a PlayStation conversion out of you, Dave?
I was originally a PlayStation guy. I converted to the Xbox.
Well, maybe you need to come back.
Hot Shots golf guy is what he was.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Diablo too, man. The original Diablo. Oh my! I went through 4 copies of that. We played it so much, kept getting scratched up.
No, I mean, it's just rumors, but we're not. I mean, but if it does happen, it would be great.
Oh God, would it?
What I was definitely amused by looking at the article and the specs was the AMD graphics processor and all that kind of stuff,
right,
which they said is the most powerful stuff that's coming out in the market right now. More so than PCs. Yeah, no.
Oh my God, I'm going to fall over.
Yeah. However, it's not going to take long for the PC architecture to catch right back up and then blow it out of the water. So just wanted to lay that out there, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for that.
PC can't play PlayStation 4 games.
We wouldn't want to.
So Spider-Man.
I
got you there. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, cool. All right, what else you got for us, Skungy?
I just got a little bit of update on the Overwatch League.
Okay.
Just a little bit of standings right now. They're in stage 2. So the standings right now, Vancouver is number 1 right now with 12-0.
Okay, good on you, eh?
Yeah, they're number 1.
They're doing pretty good, eh?
The New York Excelsior is 12-1, and then you go Frisco's 8-3. So there's a big gap between the top 2 and the bottom 2. Now, this is something that I would like to say that's funny.
Uh-oh.
Shanghai is 5-6.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Well,
so
yeah,
they won a few.
Right, yeah. They started off strong, right?
Your Houston Outlaws are 3-6, so Shanghai's beating your Houston Outlaws.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's terrible.
And then Florida wins with only 1-12.
Oh, wow.
Wait, Florida?
Florida Mayhem, yeah.
Oh, Jeez,
they're 1-12.
Can they be the new Shanghai?
Apparently.
Could it be so? No, because they already got one win.
They'll be more embarrassing because they have better stories.
Florida man.
So too much meth on that team. And yeah. All right. Good deal. All right. Well, Skungy, thanks very much. Dave, should we fire him this week?
No, wait. The Fortnite thing, though.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
we didn't get
yeah.
a chance to talk about that. Last night, a bunch of people got busted because they got that open invitational right now for the Fortnite World Cup, and 1,200 people got banned. One guy got banned for life. He was using some sort of a hack program to it was teaming things up, auto bot aiming, all that kind of stuff, and then a bunch of other people were just I can't. The article was very iffy on the actual specifics, but Fortnite and Epic came out and said, "Look, we're trying to keep this competitive and fair," and so they brought the hammer down on them, and that's good, man. I mean, when you can keep doing that as a company, and especially when they're going to do a creative $3 million prize pool, so I mean they're putting boatloads of cash in there, and it makes you feel better when they're coming down on cheaters. I mean, at least you got a shot to get in there,
Yeah, no, as long as
cheating's been a problem with competitive gaming for a long time. I mean, people cheat all the time in video games, and it's something. It's hard. It's very, very hard to regulate. And like you, Dave, I applaud them on getting on right out of the gate with it.
Yeah, I mean, and same thing. Like we've complimented Overwatch League with being proactive with a lot of their stuff, just watching the sports world and their missteps and being like, you know what, we're not going to do that either.
Yeah,
we're gonna rectify that before we rectify it. Check yourself. No,
jeez.
All right, fire me.
Oh, fire you. Dave, you're fired.
Yay!
Skungy, we'll see you next week then.
Yeah, fantastic. I'll have Mortal Kombat 11 next week.
Oh, good deal.
That's going to be awesome.
All right, when we get back, we're going to close out this Easter show with This Week in Geek History. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Without a hint of pride, what you needn't be a king to make any maiden a bride.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game. You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports in Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out iglfoundation.com for more info.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Welcome back to The Week in Geek. Don't forget, you can listen to previous episodes on the iHeartRadio app at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagrams, The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you miss any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app,
and your mama's house.
There you go.
But let's do this.
This week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my God!
This week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Wow. All right, Brian, what's topping us off?
All right, first item on my list, April 15th, 1924.
The Roaring 20s, you say?
Yes.
With the Flapper Girls.
Well, this was Rand McNally publishes the company's first road atlas. And I mention that because probably kids don't even know what the heck a road atlas is.
It's like a map, but for roads.
Well, it'd be a whole book of road maps, right? That you might keep in your glove compartment in the car, you know?
Road maps?
Right.
Supplies.
Oh,
my God. You know, I think we've had this conversation so many times just about encyclopedias, the internet of our days.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, good Lord. It's just... road maps.
I remember going through the card catalog at the library to look for those.
Just even think back to what was the map we used to always use? MapQuest. Before everybody had the smartphones, it was like, oh, I'm going out of town. Let me print up some MapQuest stuff.
Right.
That was the thing to do. You know.
Goodness help you if there was construction on your route when you got to your destination.
There was this thing called triptychs back by Allstate or State Farm used to make them. Like you would tell your insurer that you were going on a trip, and they would put together this thing free of charge for you. It was like a little page, and you would turn it and go and just boom. My parents got them all the time.
Yeah.
Stuck in my brain. What's next?
Next, April 16th, 2010. Based on the comic book of the same name and directed by Matthew Vaughn, it's Kick-Ass was released in the U.S.
Did you see Kick-Ass 2?
I didn't.
I don't think you missed much. I mean, I've watched it, and it was just kind of, Jim...
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey,
yes.
Yeah. He was in it. Like, his character was just weird, and they tried to do too much, I think.
Okay.
And I think that only really works in the comics, The only storyline they continued was Hit Girl becoming a big girl, and, I don't know. The first one was the funniest. They should have just left it there. Or just read the comics if you really like it, folks.
That's cool. All right, next item on my list, April 17th, 1397.
The first engraved wooden maps were found in a...
No. In the court of Richard II, Geoffrey Chaucer recites the Canterbury Tales for the very first time.
Wow.
Yes. Scholars later identify this date in which the book's characters begin their pilgrimage to Canterbury.
Wow. So what did Rotten Tomatoes give him? Was there any sort of judging system for the old bards of that time?
The only Rotten Tomatoes they got were the ones they were pelted with. So.
Literal Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
I think, how did he do that? I mean... did he actually read it or memorize it? I mean, those things were huge, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he probably had the text from which he was reciting back in the time.
1300, you said?
1397, yes.
When was the type print cast? Like for the Bible? I think it was like 1200, maybe?
No. The Gutenberg Bible was in the, I want to say 1600.
Really? So this is before, so a bunch of little monks with their little candles and their bald tonsures?
Calligraphing it out. Yeah, right. Their feather quills.
Wow.
Yes.
Lord, what imagine he just spills some of his meat on it? You son of a...
Oh, right. All right, next on my list, April 18th, 1938. This is the publication date for Action Comics #1, which is the first issue of the original run of the comic book series Action Comics, and it features the first appearance of Superman.
Yeah, holding the car, the little...
yes.
Yeah.
And
Edsel? Is that what it's called? I think it was.
Yeah, it could be. Apparently, there were several other comic book heroes in there, too, but nobody cares. It had Superman.
Look, DC, I just don't even know what to think of them anymore, man. Like the Doom Patrol thing, I still haven't watched that, but Gotham's coming to an end.
Yes.
Now that's been getting really rave reviews.
Has it?
Yeah. This is their last season. It's funny. Ashley Nichols, our friend, he put up there, like somebody else had tweeted it out or whatever that this year you've got the end of the Skywalker saga. They're wrapping up Game of Thrones. They're wrapping up something else. I can't remember what it was. And he was just like, this is the end of, oh my God,
popular culture entertainment.
No, oh my God, Gotham.
Oh, yes.
Literally, I just said it. My brain does not work, but it's like Gotham doesn't have the rich history that things like Game of Thrones
or Star Wars
and Star Wars has. Yeah, I don't think the two jive.
All right,
just putting it out there. Sorry, Ash.
All right, let's see if you can guess this one.
Damn it, I forgot what I was literally saying in my own sentence. I'm screwed.
Let's see. April 19th, 1973. This movie, directed by Richard Fleischer, starring Charlton Heston, Leigh Taylor Young, and Edward G. Robinson.
All right, so it wasn't Planet of the Apes because it was like the guy who danced was in that. Right. It's got to be Soylent Green.
Soylent Green, there you go.
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah, no, I figured you'd get that one. So, all right, you'll really probably run with this next one. On April 21st, 1954. American psychiatrist Frederick Wortham publishes Seduction of the Innocent, in which he vilifies the influence of comic books on children. This, of course, breeds the Comics Code Authority and decades of censorship within the comic book industry.
Where do you start?
Right.
I mean, where do you start? Right. Look, I'm so glad from where we've gone to where we are now, though, where, nothing is off limits now.
Yeah.
I mean, anything is on the table right now. And almost it's kind of like the reverse of the Comic Book Authority, where you've got, what do they call them, gatekeepers or whatever? Like you can't do this with that comic. It's like, technically, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's true.
It's a damn comic book, bro. You can do whatever you want. And so it's kind of like, it's almost kind of like we've come full circle. I bet the same people who would have been decrying that little stamp on them are probably, just that are trying to protect the properties now. They're probably the same people, or the descendants of them.
Yeah.
And just looking at it from just a bunch of one-way mother bleepers.
Well, and with the indie scene like it is, we just get such a plethora of great work out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more opportunities to do that, self-publishing and everything, man.
All right, you ready for some birthdays?
Sure.
On the 15th, Emma Watson. On the 16th, Billy West. He voiced Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy and Fry from Futurama and a whole bunch of other stuff.
We haven't interviewed him yet.
No, we haven't.
We should get on that.
Yes. On the 17th, Perpetual Dead Man Sean Bean.
Man, look, honestly, the Game of Thrones is 5 episodes left now.
Yeah.
And there's one fan theory circulating around because they changed the whole opening sequence. And you go into the crypt of Winterfell. You go into into the Red Keep and see the throne, the Iron Throne.
All right.
And there, in the book, they had his mom come back. I forgot what they called her, but I could see them doing some crazy thing where maybe, the Night King raises Sean Bean from the dead. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
That would be cool.
Because, look, I mean, that's where all the dead Starks are buried, man. And then, there's so much. I can't
that
wait.
Poor
I
guy
can't wait
just,
tonight.
Yeah, he dies all the time. So, all right, on the 18th, David Tennant.
Hey, Doctor.
Yes. On the 19th, James Franco. And on the 20th, George Takei.
Hey.
It's okay to be Takei.
It is okay to be Takei. I love that guy.
Yes. All right. Our guest next week is Chris Paul from Galactic Tattoo. He's going to come in and talk about nerd tattoo.
That's sweet. That sounds familiar.
Not Chris 51.
Oh,
no,
okay.
This is a local guy. So,
okay.
Yes.
Is that the people that were at Big Easy Con like last year? Not Big Easy Con, sorry.
Wizard World?
No, the one on the West Bank at
the New Orleans Comic Con. Yeah, that's what they called it. Comics Expo or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's cool because I don't know if this is the guy, but I just remember they had like a vending machine. You put in some money, you turn it, and you would get out a Decepticon logo or a Star Trek logo, and they're like, "Here you go," and you would get it for like $10.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was obscene. It's like, but it was a pick'em.
Oh,
maybe you
so
get
that
it.
was the tattoo you got.
No, I thought about it.
Oh.
No, I've always had the MP.
Right.
I don't know why I don't have a Decepticon on, so maybe that's what's going to end up happening sooner rather than later.
Fair enough. All right, guys.
All right, that's it. We got to go watch Game of Thrones, Brian. So you're coming on board, Brian? Are you joining the Game of Thrones train?
I'm trying to catch up. I'm still at the end of season 2 right now. So
well, look, there's only 6 episodes in the final season, so at least the last season will be easy for you.
Yeah. I'll get caught up.
There you go. All right. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Walton and Johnson, making mornings great on News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.